Hi everybody, welcome back to my channel. This is Balsamic Moon Tarot, and I am here with a message, advice for your current situation. Okay, so I have 3 cards selected, and I have 3 crystals here as well, if you want to choose by crystals first. So here is Banded Agate. Very pretty. We also have Scheelite. This is called Blue Scheelite. It's very white in appearance. And we have as the third crystal, Mojave Turquoise. This is called a Watermelon Mojave Turquoise. Very colorful. So these are your 3 options. I'm going to turn the cards over now. For pile 1, the card is number 74, Share Tenderness. For pile number 2, the card is number 55, In Between Worlds. And for pile number 3, the card is number 33, Ripe Fruits. Okay, so these are your options. Feel free to skip ahead to the timestamps that are below for your reading. Okay, see you at your reading. Hi pile 1, this is your reading. Advice for your current situation. I have, instead of one pile of pre-shuffled cards, I have 3 different sections here. So first I'm going to read for you, and we'll see if this is an energetic match. For you, I have the 10 of Cups and the Justice card. So currently you are in a very happy situation, I would say. You selected the Share Tenderness card as well as the Banded Agate. And we see here with the Justice card a similarity as well between these 2 things. So I feel like there's justice in a sense of a balance between 2 opposing views or 2 opposing parties. I think it's more like 2 opposing views. There's a balance of viewpoints here. And there's a sense of being on the same page even. 10 of Cups and Share Tenderness. I think you currently are feeling very blessed, very lucky in your connection to somebody else, or in your connection to people that are close to you. So it could be another person or it could be multiple people, but I'm seeing here that you're feeling very supported, very blessed, very cared for. And I also feel like a reason why you feel this way is because you feel like a need has been met. You feel like something has been resolved here. Perhaps you had a dispute and you were able to work out differences. So with the Justice card, I feel like there is also a sense of closure, a sense of resolution, a sense of being in a good place, and also having appreciation for where you are now because you understand what it took to get here. So that's what I'm getting for you. For the situation itself, we have the Emperor. Okay, interesting. So the situation is something perhaps related to your resources or a practical matter. I feel like there is something related to an executive decision, like a big decision or a big plan that you have to act on. Being able to act on something, having the willpower to succeed, the ambition, having a big idea and being able and willing to act on that idea. So for this situation, I think that there's something big you are planning, either a big move or a big job, perhaps even becoming self-employed, but there's something that is going to require you to kind of level up, and I hate to say it this way, but man up, like to be the adult, to be the grown-up, to even to be very responsible, rather. So there's a big responsibility here in this situation. For the advice, what I've gotten here is the Four of Wands, Maktub, and the Queen of Swords. Very interesting. Let me make sure all the cards are showing up here. Yeah, they're good. So your advice is really interesting because in this reading in general, there's definitely a theme of partnership, and there's a theme of emotional support, feeling understood, feeling cared for, feeling nurtured, and also being someone who is very nurturing, being someone who wants to take care of others. For the advice, I feel like there is the advice of to kind of let go of the reins a bit. I think you've been in a situation where you've had a lot of responsibility, and it's possible that you've gotten accustomed to having responsibility, and you've gotten accustomed to being maybe the leader or the boss. But I think that the advice is to kind of loosen up those reins a bit and to really encourage others to join you in building what it is you're building, or in pursuing the goal you're pursuing. With the Four of Wands, I feel like community and collaboration is very emphasized. Like, it's possible you have a partner, it's possible you're engaged, and your partner can be somebody who really helps you achieve your vision. Your community can help you achieve your vision. There are people around you who can be delegated with tasks, or who can be asked for support, and they will show up with that support. With Maktub encouraging you to go with the flow here, Maktub translates to "it is written" in Arabic, so it refers to something that is predestined, something that is fated, and how in our lives we must accept our fate, we must accept our destiny in order to truly thrive. You know, we can't have control over everything. There's a level of fulfillment in life when we accept what we cannot control, right? So with Queen of Swords, I do think that there is still a lot of power in this, that you're not losing any power by asking others for support, for asking others to aid you in getting where you want to go. There's power in there's power in relinquishing control over every aspect of it. So, you know, to ask others for support and then let them take those reins, let them have some autonomy in how they support you, have some creativity in how they support you. So, for example, you know, if you are planning a wedding, let's say, like letting someone else do the flowers, you know, and of course choosing someone whose judgment you trust. It's not like you're going to choose someone who's going to be overwhelmed with that task, but if you do get the support or get the assistance from someone who is capable of that kind of support, then you can, you know, loosen the reins and you can let them have fun with that role and, you know, be more creative in that role rather than having them be afraid to displease or disappoint you, you know. So being much more encouraging and letting your natural warmth set the tone for that collaboration is going to be key here. I think the Queen of Swords shows that you have a level of discernment and a high standard that is very, you know, it's good, it's a strength of yours. But it's important to make sure that that high standard is relevant to the thing you're doing. You know, sometimes we can make a mountain out of a molehill, and we think that we're being perfectionists, or we think that being a perfectionist is a good thing in that case, but oftentimes the perfectionism is actually preventing us from getting something great done. You know, it's the perfectionist, I can't speak. The perfectionism is creating a level of angst and analysis and unnecessary strain and, you know, stress that is just preventing something happening with that flow, you know, with a creative flow. So that's what I'm seeing for you here, Pile 1. I think that you've been, you know, taking on a lot of responsibility, and you might have become a bit comfortable in a position of responsibility or leadership, but you're encouraged right now to focus on the gratitude you feel for your support system, for, you know, your love, the love in your life. Focus on that gratitude and focus on being more collaborative in nature, more collaborative in spirit, more balanced in getting things done, not taking on the responsibilities so much yourself, but really inviting other people's opinions, or inviting dialogue, inviting partnership here. I think as long as you express your needs clearly and express your own preferences and standards clearly, then, you know, you can accomplish something great by trusting other people's instincts and other people's talents. You know, with the Four of Wands, I feel like there are other people whose talents are equal to yours, or, you know, who have strengths that you don't have. And by coming together and building something together, you're going to accomplish something you couldn't do on your own. So that's what's beautiful here, is that there is something here that can be accomplished even better than you could do on your own. And it just requires you to loosen the reins a bit, be more collaborative, and be more, you know, to bring your natural warmth, bring your natural sociability into it, rather than just focusing on standards or imagined quality, you know, imagined criteria, but really focus on the activities, the shared activity, the shared goal, the shared vision. Let that inform the process. Go with the flow of that process based on how other people are getting excited to join you, and other people are getting, you know, they're bringing their passions to the table. Let that dictate the flow of the process. Okay, Pile 1, that's your message for today. Good luck with whatever it is you're building or you're embarking on, and I am sure it will come out amazing. So best of luck to you, Pile 1. Thank you for joining today. If this resonated, please click the like or subscribe buttons, and join me at the next reading, okay? Take care. Hi, Pile 2. This is your reading, advice for your current situation. I have all your cards pre-shuffled, and I might select even more cards if I need to clarify, but I'm going to start here. You selected the card number 55, In-Between Worlds, as well as the Scheelite Stone. This is a very interesting card you selected. According to the guidebook for the deck, it relates to being somebody who does not quite fit in, because you are in between worlds, and, you know, you are not fully of this world. And so being different and being, you know, not fitting in so easily means that you do bring tremendous change and information, new information or new ways of being into the world, because you follow that that instinct within yourself. You follow an inner drumbeat that, even though it may not be in rhythm with the world as it is now, it could very well be a harbinger of the future. So as uncomfortable as you may be in this moment, you are also being encouraged to stay true to yourself, because you're needed right now. You're needed to be who you are and to bring change into the world, by modeling that change, by introducing that change. So let's see, other cards about you. We have, so just to clarify, I did select the cards, but these 3 piles are for the spread. So these cards are going to relate to you and identifying you and seeing if this is an energetic match for you. If you identify yourself in this reading, the next pile will relate to the situation at hand, and then the last pile will relate to the advice. So for you, we have the 7 of Pentacles, we have the Hanged Man, and we have the Ace of Pentacles. Very cool. I don't know if this can all fit, so this is what I'll do. So, in terms of who you are, I think you're someone who has just gotten a new opportunity or some kind of offering. Perhaps you have just embarked on a new career, you've just started a new job or got a new job offer. But this has happened after a period of time in which you have been working kind of on faith, like you've been putting time and effort into something that was not immediately gratifying. You sort of had to just believe in yourself and go with your gut about something working. You had a plan, you had a strategy, and you started working, but it wasn't clear until right about now that it was a working strategy, that it was fruitful, it was productive. With the Hangman, I think that your approach was very unconventional. So whatever line of work you're doing, I think you had a very unconventional approach or beginning, or you had maybe an unconventional entry into this career, into this line of work. And I am saying work because I feel like this could be about career and work and vocational stuff, because you seem to be somebody who's very focused on that. But let's go ahead and get cards now for the situation. We have the Temperance card. Wonderful. This is describing the situation itself. We have the 2 of Pentacles. I'm going to put that here. And we have the 8 of Pentacles. Wow. So, definitely, yes, this is a reading about work or career or vocation, or even like resources, finances, the finances, the stability, the income that allows you to pursue your chosen path, your chosen line of work, your chosen vocation, or your life stream. So I think that you are definitely feeling like you've achieved a level of mastery. You feel like you have options that weren't there before. Even it seems like this job offer or this opportunity that you are being offered has put you in a frame of mind where you can now balance the pros and cons of staying or going. Should I stay or should I go? I think that you've been in a situation for some time now and perhaps feel really good about it. You feel like, oh, if I stay here longer, I could really take this to the next level. Like, I'm really close. I'm really on the precipice of achieving something great here. But there's also another side of you that is considering moving on because you feel like this new opportunity is enabling a whole new approach to what you're doing. With the Temperance card, you're definitely not trying to make any rash decisions. You want something to really grow at an organic and natural pace. You want something to unfold very organically. You don't want any like artificial sign of success. You want, it's like I'm hearing the proof is in the pudding. You really want to see results and base your decisions based on those results. You're not someone who's just going to operate on faith alone. You want to really see evidence that something is going to work out in your favor. Which is interesting because with the Hanged Man, I do see someone who's quite unconventional and who sees things very differently from the norm. But you're very practical, and I think that you more than anyone can achieve a vision because you don't see things, you don't always take the common wisdom or the conventional wisdom. You kind of question everything you're doing, and you really try to be very pragmatic and results oriented. Okay, so that's the situation. I think you are trying to balance two options. You're trying to make a decision. Should I stay or should I go? And I think you're also feeling really good about where you are in your career, and you're really starting to see results and even gain privileges, perhaps gaining a promotion or perhaps gaining more maybe like increasing sales if you're entrepreneurial. Like there's something that is definitely growing in your favor here, and it's a good sign. It's a positive sign that what you've been doing is effective and it's working. So the advice, we have the Lover's card, the Queen of Pentacles. Wow. Let me just scooch this over. We have the King of Swords. Sorry, plant. I need to see these cards. Okay. We have the Magician. Lovely. The Knight of Swords. What's with all these court cards? The Knight of Pentacles. Interesting. So we have swords, swords, pentacles, pentacles, and two major arcana here. And Perception as an oracle card. Resolution as another oracle card too wanted to come out of that deck. So, advice. Perception and resolution. Interesting. So, wow, I think what you're advised to do at this time is to kind of compartmentalize and get more, almost not even compartmentalize, that's the wrong word. I feel like there's some way you can classify what you're doing into discrete parts. So instead of seeing your life as sort of one big clump of activities, you can kind of categorize things and label things and put them into discrete categories. Because I feel like you're kind of weighing two options, but as if they're equivalent, but they're not equivalent. You're comparing apples and oranges. So I think there needs to be a new way to base your decisions or perceive the given situation. There's a new way here to perceive the choice in front of you. Perhaps what you should do is kind of view what you have as like a basket or like a portfolio. You know, like if you have investments, how they are an investment portfolio, to view your entire life as that, sort of view your whole life as an investment portfolio of different categories. I apologize for bringing stock market talk into this. It's not very exciting, but but yeah, I do think that's important here to, you know, to bring more things to the surface. in that way, in that respect. View your life as a basket of good things or desires, and understand your situation and your choice in terms of how it will serve those various parts of your life. And I'm sorry if that sounds a bit vague, but you know, I think it's better than just making a pro and con list. I think you need to kind of wise up a bit more to what the choice is really asking of you. So, for example, let's say you have a new offer, or let's say someone is offering you a business partnership. I mean, I think people are definitely showing up here with all these court cards, and with the Lover's card, I think someone is definitely showing up willing to be an equal stakeholder in your activities and what you're doing. They really want to invest here. They really want to see you succeed, and they want to be part of your success. I feel like they're very excited about what you're doing, and they kind of just like want to be part of it. They just want to, you know, not necessarily join in and just be focused on making money, but to really soak in the whole lifestyle, the whole environment that you've created. There's somebody very excited to be involved. And you both have to view each other as, even though you're both quite different from each other, I think you have to view each other as two people or two entities who have various strengths. And maybe you need to see, how can these strengths complement each other? Or will they complement each other? Will it just not work because we are too different, or we have different value systems? Okay, so when I talked about a basket, like, what I meant is that, you know, you should really examine what's working in your life and not take for granted that certain things are working because they have been supported in that way. So, for example, perhaps one reason why you're able to get a lot of work done is because the space in which you work, you know, maybe the office that you use or the commercial space you use has all these awesome things about it that you didn't even notice, you know, like, don't take for granted what's working in your favor, because if you're entertaining another option, you need to be real about how those things will impact the decision or the change. So if it means that you have to move space to work in a different kind of environment, work in a different space, then imagine what that would do for the work. Will it suffer or will it benefit? So this is what I mean, just as an example, that I think there is a bigger picture here that you need to take hold of, and you need to be even more particular about. So maybe you're really excited because you're like, oh my gosh, I'm getting all this money offered to me. But you should ask yourself, like, does that money, what kind of strings come with that money? Or am I going to have to sign a contract that means in 3 years, you know, X, Y, and Z is going to happen? So yeah, pile 2. I feel like I'm not giving you enough advice here, because there's a lot to consider here. I think that overall the advice is don't rush into anything, and really be clear about what it is you want. Be clear about what you're trying to achieve if you do choose to change up what you're doing. If you keep going in the direction you're going, I do think there's going to be a lot of success for you. I also feel like you have enough things to keep you busy. You have enough projects or enough problems to solve right now. And you should ask yourself, are you ready to commit to a whole new set of problems if you do make a big change, you know, if you do choose the other option? So let me just get some more cards, because I feel like there's more information that needs to come out here. Oh, okay. Knight of Swords again, Page of Cups, Six of Pentacles and Page of Wands. Yeah, I think you just have to be really straightforward, clear-cut, very clear in communicating with another person, because I think someone is coming into the picture with a lot of optimism and a lot of hope, but they may not be able to bring to the table as much as you wish. They may be coming in a little bit with a little bit overeager, and you have to be wary about that eagerness dying out, or rather you have to be conscious about that excitement and that eagerness being sustainable. Is it going to be sustainable? Is it going to really be enough to get you through the hard work of this partnership or this big change? What else? Can you give me more advice, more information? Ace of Swords, okay. Yeah, I think that you kind of see things, you know, you have a pretty clear idea of what it is that is your main concern. You have a clear idea of what it would take to succeed. So you just have to use your own good judgment. Hold on. Use your own good judgment in and take a level of responsibility. Take ownership for your own boundaries, your own needs. So when I see Ace of Swords, I feel like you already know what it is that would make this work. The question is, does the other person or does the other situation understand that the same way as you? So it does require a lot of communication and a lot more clear-cut and assertive, explicit communicating. Don't just assume that people are on the same page as you. Don't just assume that they understand things the same way that you do. You have to be assertive and explicit and consistent in what you are expressing. Wow. Page of Swords. So research, information gathering, even having a certain level of skepticism is key here right now. Page of Wands again. So we're getting a lot of pages energy here, which means don't, you know, what that means is like there's a lot of new energy here. There's a lot of excitement. Take that all in. Take that all as it comes. Don't get ahead of yourself. Don't let the excitement, you know, don't let things kind of fall apart because there's so much excitement at the beginning that you overlook certain details and you overlook certain decisions that have to be made or decisions that have to be communicated and shared, responsibilities that have to be shared, roles, delegations, key responsibilities. There's still responsibilities that have to be understood and agreed to. And so I think all this page energy is showing that there's a lot of excitement showing up, but you know, be constructive with that new energy and that new excitement. Be very gentle and forgiving if someone is really excited now, but maybe in a few months they're no longer as excited. You know, they're no longer sustaining that attention. So I think basically you just have to utilize whatever opportunity is here, but don't assume that it's going to last. Be very measured in the next steps that you take. Six of Pentacles, this is about, you know, having a level of reciprocity, having fairness and balance in the way that you share resources, and even share power, share obligations, share labor. You want to make sure that you don't put in more effort than the other person, or you want to make sure that they don't assume that you are just going to do all the work naturally and effortlessly. You have to have a shared understanding about contributions and what constitutes equal contribution, equal effort, what constitutes equity. Yeah, I think that's what I have for you, Pile 2. I do see here there's a situation that is giving you a new opportunity, perhaps, you know, advancing your career or advancing your level of income. But it might be a little bit too soon to tell if it is a sustainable opportunity, if it's something that's really going to work in your favor long term. You're someone who has really invested a lot of time and effort into the thing you're doing, so don't take that for granted. Don't, you know, become too rash in any decision making. Take things one day at a time. If someone is showing up and kind of promising you the world, you really have to view their actions as opposed to their words. Like, really examine their past projects, their past success, their resume, their portfolio, etc. Don't let them come to you just like kind of promising you the world. And I do see that with the Magician and the Lovers. Like, someone could be coming at you very strong with a very strong proposal, and it could be very enticing. But you do have to recognize the Page energy here means someone might just be passionate in the moment. They may not be very excited to stick with this idea in the long term. So take what they say with a grain of salt and continue to be balanced and measured in your approach. Continue to follow the strategies that have been successful for you. Even though they may be unconventional, they've been working for you up until this point. So don't abandon them entirely just because somebody else is coming in and being like, oh, you should do it this way, you know, like this is going to work and all that sort of thing. So I hope that makes sense to you, Pile 2. If this resonates, click the like or subscribe buttons and join me at my next reading, okay? See you later. Thanks, Pile 2. Hi, Pile 3. This is your reading advice for your current situation. You selected card number 33, Ripe Fruits, as well as the Watermelon Mojave Turquoise. So very cool that you selected that this card ended up being matched with this crystal, because there is definitely something about fruition and being on the verge of something really beautiful, feeling very blessed, or feeling very feeling like rewards are falling into your lap, deserved rewards, you know, rewards for your effort or for your ingenuity, for your creativity. There's a certain level of mastery too in the number 33. So let's see what this is about. We have 3 piles here. This is going to describe you. See if you are an energetic match for this reading. This is going to describe the situation itself, and then this will be describing the advice. So, pile 3. You are represented here by the Strength card. Wow. Love that. Page of Swords. So perhaps someone who is really in their element right now, and wow, I feel like if you're not in a field where you have to do a lot of communications, maybe even presentations, I'm seeing like having to really talk about what you do, having to explain what you do, explaining something complicated to others in a way that they can understand. I feel like there's sort of an not information junkie, but someone here who is really good at articulating or giving lessons, really good at talking about something in a very easy to understand way. Interesting, the Star. So I do feel like you have been doing something that is speaking to the public or speaking to an audience. Perhaps it's marketing, but you have a certain elevated profile, and a lot of people look to you. A lot of people look to you and admire you. And you feel very confident in what you are doing, in what you are sharing. You have a lot of not just passion, but hope and optimism and faith in what you're doing, and in the ability to get people to and the ability to get people's attention and gain their trust even. I feel like you're an expert on something. Perhaps you have a level of experience doing something, and now you can talk about it. Now you have a lot of wisdom to share about it. So for the situation itself, we have the Ace of Wands. And we have the Nine of Cups. Look at that. Wow. So what do you need advice here for? Because it looks like you're in a great place right now. The Ace of Wands and the Nine of Cups. Interesting. I think you're sort of in a comfort zone, and you're thinking about what more can you do. Do you want to stay in your comfort zone, or do you need to sort of bust out of it? I think that this Ace of Wands is kind of showing a restlessness. There's something more you can do. You want to set your sights on something bigger. You feel very pleased with where you are now, but you don't want to stay in this place. You really want to go to the next level somehow, to level up, not just because, or not necessarily because you are ambitious. It's more like you know that you will be happy with the challenge. You know that you're not someone who can just kind of sit around like, you know, if you had the opportunity to retire early, you wouldn't take that chance because you don't want to just be complacent. You really want to challenge yourself and get outside your comfort zone and expand your skill set, expand your perception or your knowledge. You want to see more of the world. You want to see more new things. You want more new and novel experiences in your life. That's what I'm getting for this situation. So, for advice, we have awareness. And for some reason, I pulled a lot of cards for your advice, so bear with me. I'm going to be going through a bunch of cards here. Weightlessness. Interesting. Yeah, see, being aware of your true nature. You're not someone who really wants to be perceived in just one way. You feel like there's so much more to you, and you want people to be aware of that. You don't want to just like be boxed up or labeled a certain way just because you have a level of success up until this point. You're kind of questioning what more is there to you. The Rose Phoenix. Yeah, so I feel like you've even reinvented yourself up until this point. Perhaps you come from a hard scrabble background. Perhaps you left a situation or a relationship that was really harmful for you, and you've come out of it better. You've come out of it stronger. And so there's definitely a lot of faith in your abilities to regenerate and to identify the new chapter in your life. Your intuition is telling you something here. So let's keep going. For advice, wow, we have the Strength card again. That is so cool. Pile 3. You are really special, I have to say. If you're getting the Strength card twice, like, you may not know this, but you have tremendous capacity and abilities here. There's a lot more to you is also what I'm seeing here. There's so much to you that is kind of underneath the surface. Like, it's almost like you don't know your own strength, or other people don't know your own strength. perhaps you kind of put on a bit of an idealized front to the world, and there's a certain tenacity and edge to you that you maybe don't normally share with others. But with advice, with strength showing up as advice, I think it's kind of saying, you know, come back to who you are, tap into who you really feel you are, and not just what people expect from you. Nine of Pentacles, yeah, very independent energy here with Nine of Cups and Nine of Pentacles showing up this way. I think that you are definitely being encouraged to pursue something a little bit more contemplative, to be very thoughtful about your next step here. Don't just kind of follow the norm here, but really question for yourself if what you're doing is speaking to you personally. Eight of Pentacles, interesting. So yeah, you have a lot of there's definitely a level of mastery here, and there's a level of achievement here that you can be grateful for, and you shouldn't let it go to waste. You should definitely make the most of where you're at in life right now. Five of Wands. So yes, this is the challenge showing up. This is confirming for you that you do need to take on something difficult here. You need to kind of be a bit competitive. Maybe pursue something that is competitive here. I'm even getting a message that there might be something physical, that there's a physical challenge you want to take on here. Maybe now you're ready and you feel confident in yourself to take on a physical challenge. Like it could be something, you know, sports related or marathon related, stamina related. But I'm seeing here with the Five of Wands that you do need to get out of your comfort zone to some extent, and you do need a personal challenge. Knight of Swords here, and King of Pentacles as the last two cards of advice. So Knight of Swords and King of Pentacles. Yeah, I feel like you have definitely come to a certain level of stability in your life that you don't need to walk away from it. You need to sort of harness it, and you need to put it towards something new here. I think you succeeded in some kind of role, perhaps being a teacher, being in marketing, being in advertising, being in sales, being in communication or administration or education. There's something swords related in your life that you have, you've pursued it, you've started down that path, and you've come to a level of success with it that you sort of like as a I don't want to say beginner's luck. I want to say it's more like you had so much raw talent that you were able to succeed much quicker than others in the path or field or technology even that you chose for yourself. And so with the King of Pentacles now showing up, I think that you can commit to something greater for yourself that isn't going to it's going to build on what you've already established. It's not going to move away from it entirely. It's going to use it as a building block. But you do need a challenge. You do need a change in some capacity here. I think it's more like a change in your roles and a change in your responsibilities or your activities, your daily activities. You just need something that will excite you more, and it will kind of allow you to embrace your whole, it will allow you to just like exercise your other strengths here. With Five of Wands, I think that you have other strengths that have been a little bit too comfortable at the moment, and now you need to kind of wake them up. You need to activate those talents and those strengths in order to feel a bit more, in order to feel more fulfilled and more just more passionate in general. I hope that makes sense. Let me pull a few more cards to see if I can get confirmation or clarification. Advice for pile 3, please. It's like, I feel like you've gotten an award or you've gotten a certain amount of recognition, but that's not really what you want. You don't really want someone to just tell you you're great. I feel like you want to do something for your own sake. It's like you want to climb a mountain because you got excited to climb that mountain, and you're doing it for yourself. You're not doing it for others, and you're not doing it for status or approval. You're just doing it because you yourself are genuinely excited about mountain climbing. You see what I'm saying? Interesting. So we have the Death card and we have the Lovers card. Oh. 9 of Cups. Okay. Interesting. So, yeah, I feel like you I feel like you might be someone who maybe comes across as very gentle or a little, like, not pleasant, but popular. I feel like you kind of want to even challenge other people's perception of you. Like, maybe you come across to people as being sensitive and soft and artistic and creative, but there's really this side to you that is a little bit more edgy, a little bit more, I don't know, I keep hearing raw. Like, there's a depth to you, and there's a tenacity to you that you want to live out more, live out loud. The 9 of Cups, again, I'm getting this sense of, yes, you're happy, but you know there's something missing, and you don't want to stay stuck in this level of comfort. You want to challenge yourself. You want to move on from this pleasantness in your life. You feel a bit restless right now, and you feel like there's something else out there. It's just sort of in the back of your mind. It's sort of calling to you. Yeah, that's what I'm getting for you, pile 3. I hope that was enough advice. I keep wanting to pull cards for you in the world. Wow. I mean, maybe it's the travel bug, right? Like, there's just something out there that's calling to you, and you feel like you've accomplished what you needed to accomplish in this phase of your life. Maybe you're in a field, you're in some sort of career that you feel like you achieved enough, but it's not something you want to stick with. Like, it's not exciting to you to keep going this direction. Like with the King of Pentacles, I feel like there's a certain level of finality you're experiencing, and you kind of want to put something to rest. You want to put something behind you. You want a makeover. You want like a new lease on life. So that's what I'm getting, pile 3. I think the advice has been pretty clear here. Definitely challenge yourself. Don't be complacent. Don't also stay in one place or stay in a box. Don't put yourself in a box just because you think that that's what people expect from you or that's what people want from you. It's okay to be what's the word I'm looking for? It's okay to be a bit of a puzzle or to be a bit unpredictable. It's okay not to be consistent, I guess, is what I'm trying to say. Maybe you feel like you've been kind of this heavy lifter and people rely on you. But it's okay to challenge yourself in the way you want to be challenged, not just because other people expect something from you. It's okay to take on something new that is going to get you outside your comfort zone. And maybe a part of yourself is saying, no, that's crazy because I have all this good stuff in my life. I have like money, or I have job security, or I have a good relationship, and it's not like I'm telling you to walk away from everything. It's more like I'm saying, be honest with yourself about what it is you're desiring, What is it that is calling out to you to push your boundaries and to explore more of the world, or explore more of your abilities here, okay? So that's my advice for you. The world is your oyster. Go out there, explore it, challenge yourself. It seems like you've bounced back from tremendous things in your life. So you can certainly bounce back from another change if that's what is required here. Okay, pile 3, good luck to you. Thank you for joining today's reading, and if this resonated, please hit the like and subscribe buttons, okay? And I'll see you at the next reading. Take care.